And welcome to another episode of Spoiler Kings. It is our Halloween month. We've been telling you that we're doing these classic reviews of all these wonderful Halloween movies. We got another one for you today, and this one is a banger. It's Brian the Grizzly here with Brand Man Brandon. I told you, if you see me, you know you're going to see him. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to do one of the most epic movies I've ever seen. It's one of my favorite movies. And I think it holds up to this day. And I can tell you why I believe that. And this is the Addams Family. Matter of fact, let's talk about the Addams Family and the Addams Family values. Both of them are epic. As you said. So awesome. All right, so tell me what you think about the Addams Family. While I'm bringing up this a synopsis real quick.
The first thing that I want to say about the Addams Family is if I ever were to get married and start a family, I would want a family dynamic just like theirs. The Addams Family is probably the healthiest, most functional family, healthiest, happiest, most functional fictional family out there. Gomez and Morticia love each other to bits. They respect each other. They always put their kids first. They always have each other's backs. They solve any and every problems together. Just to the typical Joe Schmo, they're strange, but they don't care. They're just out there living their best lives.
That is so good. That is such a good thing. All right, let me read the synopsis, and I'm going to respond to what you just said because what you said was great. When a man claiming to be Fester, the missing brother of Gomez Addams, arrives at the Addams house, a home, the family is thrilled. However, Morticia begins to suspect the man is a fraud, since he cannot recall details of Fester's life. With the help of a lawyer, Tully Alford, Fester manages to get the Addams family clan evicted from their home. Gomez realizes the two men are conspiring to swindle the Addams fortune and that he must challenge Fester. Awesome, awesome, awesome. You know, growing up, I love my wife. She is like literally the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Only way I always thought I need to find a woman who loves me like Morticia loves Gomez. That's true love. That's what this movie might be a Halloween movie and all this stuff. That's true love. That's what I wanted in my life. That's why I chose my wife. That tells enough. This movie is tossing genres, even though it's this crazy movie with this crazy family. That's real love, guys.
Yes. Despite their weirdness and their oddities, they're just a very happy, loving family. I love it. I've always loved the dynamic of the Addams family.
Who's your favorite character?
Oh, what's that?
Who's your favorite character?
Favorite character? Gomez.
Okay.
I'd say Gomez. And that is due in part to the terrific performance of Raul Julia as him.
I love Raul Julia. I love him more in Street Fighter, but I love this too. My favorite character is Wednesday.
Wednesday?
For obvious reasons. Christina Ricci is awesome. Oh my gosh. She was like, this movie, was it Casper? Like all those movies were all at the same time. I loved her so much.
Oh yeah, Casper came out. I probably want to say I was 10 when I first watched that, and that movie was I had a huge thing for her. Christina Ricci, in the very slim chance that you're watching our videos, just
call them up, hit them up. Like, look, you can direct message, guys. Direct message.
It was great. I love the cast as a whole. Like the casting was absolutely perfect.
What you think about Christopher? What's his name?
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd. Yes.
Yeah, as Uncle Fester.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when I was a kid, when I first saw this movie, you know, what did we associate Christopher Lloyd with? We associated with him, Doc from Back to the Future.
Mm-hmm.
So to see him as unrecognizable in the, dressed up as Fester, bald head, bigger, crazy transformation. But he was so great in the role. Good. Yeah. Could it be any more perfect than Angelica Houston as Morticia?
No, she is Morticia. You know what?
Yeah.
They recast it out. I hate it. Why?
Yeah.
Because she is it. Angelica Houston is Morticia. It's just perfection.
Yes. I think the casting as a whole was absolutely great. I can't complain about anything. The direction by Barry Sonnenfeld, that was what really, really put him on the map. It's probably what landed. Oh, what's that?
What year did this come out?
This was Addams Family 1 was late 91, if I'm not mistaken.
91, exactly. And that's why I love this movie, because I was 6 going on 7. And this movie was just so cool. I thought it was one of the coolest things to ever come out.
Yeah, it was really great. Like, so much great stuff to be had in it. Even the Addams mansion, the inside of that, it was kind of a character all its own. And I know I've said something similar about Fright Night, like the house being a character all its own. This is even more of like a living, breathing character, the house. It had to be a fun movie to film too.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
It was almost like, it kind of took cues from like the set. It was almost like taking cues from a Burton film.
It like was exactly. It's exactly what it was.
And it was pretty easy to assume that it was a Burton film. I think even as a child, having watched Beetlejuice and Batman Returns so many times, I think my brain even automatically assumed that it was a Burton film at the time. So I was surprised to be like, oh, who's this Barry Sonnenfeld guy?
Yeah, Sonnenfeld. Who is that? What's going on? And we were like, this was great in every way. Mm-hmm. I mean, the Addams Family is something. It's not like a new story. This is a story that's been out for forever. Like what Addams Family first came out in like the 60s?
I believe so. I know the comic strip was much, much earlier, but the original show, I want to say, was the 60s.
So, and it did all this stuff. I mean, it spoke to so many different generations. Mm-hmm. I love everything about these things. It fits right with Scooby-Doo, right? It really does. Okay. What do you think the budget was on this movie?
Early 90s.
Such a
50 million?
$30 million budget.
30 million?
How much do you think it made box office?
This probably made at least... This had to have made at least 5 times its budget back. Or more. I'm going to say 175 million.
$191.5 million.
Oh, so I was a little under.
With $4 tickets. $4 tickets. Yeah. That's amazing.
That's why I gave such a low assumption for Friday the 13th, because I was going by early 80s money.
I mean, people went and saw it. Mm-hmm. That's how good this is. Where do you rank Addams Family?
This is probably this has got to be like number 7 on my top 10.
I'm probably exactly with you. This is like right, probably like, I want to say top 5, but it's not good enough to get in my top 5, but it's right there. 6, 7. That's why I'm 6, 7 with this one. All right, so we already talked about this. Let's just jump right into Addams Family values.
All right.
What do you think about that movie? How did you feel about that movie?
I thought it was just as fun. It actually leaned in. It actually got a little darker in a good way.
It was darker. I agree.
I thought,
Let me read the synopsis and then we'll go from there. All right. Mm-hmm. The members of the Odd Addams Family are up to more of a macabre. Let's start that again.
Yeah, you said it.
The members of the Odd Addams Family are up to more macabre antics in the sequel. Just in time, this time around, Gomez Addams and his wife Morticia are celebrating the arrival of a baby boy, but siblings Wednesday and Pugsley are not too happy about this new addition and try their best to eliminate the infant. When nanny Debbie Jelinski appears to keep the kids in line, her presence leads to unexpected treacherous twist. I think that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
This, I don't know if I liked it. I didn't like it as much as I did the original.
Mm-hmm.
But I think more people like Addams Family Values than they like the original Addams Family.
I think I like the first one more.
Me too.
I place this one just a couple steps under the first.
Still
very solid. Still very, very solid. Very entertaining. Like
it's an hour and a half quick movie. In 1993 is an hour and a half, gets to the point. There's no lulls in the story. The story keeps it going. There's no timing problems. Everything is just right on. That's what both of these movies were. And that's why I wanted to review them together, because I feel like they really go hand in hand with each other.
Yeah, they complement each other very good. You can even watch them, and I have watched them back to back in the past, and they flow very well with each alongside each other. I liked that, we have an addition to the family that was a good little touch. Yeah, that was cute. The baby Pubert, he was a fun watch. I liked I think my Joan Cusack is.
I was like, Joan Cusack is like the one who like stole this movie away. She
ran away from this movie. Yeah. I just hate that. I just hate that a character so crazy and evil shares the first name as my beloved mother. That's the only thing. I think my standout scene was the scene where Wednesday Christina Ricci is struggling to smile for the whole camp. That's a scene that always gets me. The fact that Christina Ricci did not get an Oscar for that scene alone is downright criminal.
I loved everything about part of that. It's at a camp. Mm-hmm. She tells the craziest, scary stories. Everything was so good, so well done. And I think this is what really vaulted Christina Ricci into, stardom. Seeing this, because you start to see her acting chops and how good things could be with her. And I was already in love, so you had me at hello. So now, 1993, I'm like, man, who is this? This is great. Mm-hmm. I'm like
I said 1993 was where I kind of started paying attention to her.
I said, Casper, my full attention. That's what I meant. I'm 8 in 1993, and I'm like, whoo, yes,
yeah. Like I said, man, she had my full attention in Casper.
Oh man. All right. So what is do these movies, both of these movies back to back, do they hold up today?
I think they do. I think the first one holds up a lot more than the second one. Mm-hmm. The second one definitely still, like I said, was solid enough. I think it the fact that the first one had a little more restraint and a little more of a tether in terms of just how macabre they got and how crazy they got. Like there's always kind of this unspoken pressure when it comes to sequels to kind of up the ante with like certain things, like say, even though it's still a solid movie, like a comparison that I always like to use is Tim Burton's Batman and then Batman Returns. Like Batman Returns is still a great movie. It just really upped the ante in Burton going full Burton. Or like Avengers versus Avengers Age of Ultron, where Whedon like really, really went full on Whedon with the quipping. There was a lot of there was it was basically one big trailer for the following phase and for the following slew of movies. So I think what I'm getting at is Addams Family Values really kind of up the ante, and it kind of, even though it was still an entertaining watch, in certain senses of the word, it kind of self-sabotaged a little bit.
Well, I mean, the budget, as you say, they increased the budget from 30 million to 47 million.
Yeah.
And the box office actually only came in at 111 million.
Yeah, which is like a drastic drop.
Yeah, it's $80 million that they lost going from there. And they spent more money to make less.
Yep. Which is a drastic drop from its predecessor. And I think, actually, now that you mention that, if I remember correctly, I think that's why they pulled the plug on the proposed third movie.
Yep.
Because this one underperformed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Who in this movie, who's your favorite character? Is it still Gomez?
Not Gomez this time. He kind of takes a back seat. I'd say my favorite character was probably Wednesday. I'd say Wednesday this time.
I love Wednesday. Cousin It was my favorite character.
Really? In this one?
Yeah.
I like it.
Even though Thing could have been good too. I mean, that was pretty good too. But yeah, I mean, just a walking hand is pretty awesome with all the personality he had. That was pretty good.
Yep. Yeah, I'd say this, since especially with Wednesday being a more centralized figure in this one, you know, like a big plot point was her and Pugsley adjusting to summer camp.
Yeah. And then being sent off to summer camp. That's crazy.
Yeah. So I'd say she was probably my favorite this time. I liked how she was on to Debbie very early on.
Yep.
I liked, her kind of being very out of her element at summer camp, kind of adjusting, basically taking over the camp.
Exactly. The skit with the Pilgrims and Indians is like my favorite.
Me. I remember when my dad and I saw that in the theater together. It was like, and I want to say it was an empty theater. It was just my dad and I. We just had a father and son evening out. We went to the movies together, and I remember us repeating that on the way home. We thought it was so funny
because it was so hilarious. All right, so the first Addams Family, guys, on a tomato meter, the audience and the critics both gave it 66%. What do you think you got for the Addams Family values?
54.
Actually, the critics gave it a 74 and the audience gave it 63.
Really?
So critics actually liked Addams Family's values more.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, these are what we're talking about. These are the movies that we love. What do you rank Addams Family values? Where do you rank that?
This would be a little further down my list. This would probably be closing in on probably. This would be like 2021. I can watch it.
It's top 20.
I can definitely watch it. It'll be later.
This is top 20 for me. As I said, the other one's like number 6 for me, but this is top 20. It's one of my favorite combination of movies, and it's something I watch every Halloween. So I just love. Do you remember the game Wake the Dead?
I do.
It's just like, it's such a strange movie, but I love the family and how much they care about each other, and this is goals. That's relationship goals right there. That's what
it really is. It really is. Why would you ever want a relationship like Joker and Harley Quinn when you got perfectly good Gomez and Morticia here? And
with that being said, guys, I'm dropping the mic. Brandon just said, why would you want anything else? So this is what we think about these two movies. Please comment. Let us know what you guys think about the Addams Family and Addams Family values. Like the video. Subscribe. We're on our way to 400. Please.
On our way to 400, not too far off.
I appreciate you guys listening in. This is our last. This is not our last. This is just in the middle of all of these movies that we're going to continue to review. This is a classic review of the Addams Family, and we will see you guys later.